Marvin Harrison Jr. spoke to the media today in the locker room, not a press conference, but shout out to Tyler Drake of Arizona Sports for getting us this clip. Let's get started. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back into another video. Definitely do me a huge favor, smack up that like button and subscribe for more Arizona Cardinals content. On this channel, we're covering the Arizona Cardinals throughout the entirety of the 2024 season, so subscribe it up. It's absolutely for free. But let's get started here, ladies and gentlemen. Like I mentioned in the intro, Marvin Harrison Jr. spoke with the media today. We haven't really seen a press conference from Marvin Harrison Jr., which feels like quite some time, but we ended up kind of getting a glimpse of how he feels about, the season so far being at 3-4. Now, he says this, definitely not what I envisioned, but let's actually let him speak.
Definitely not, what I envisioned, but I'm glad we're at 3-4. I think we're not in a terrible spot at the moment. I think we still have a chance, obviously, to win the division, kind of everything else that's going on. So I'm just keep going, keep getting better each week, and thanks a lot.
So although he's correct, I do believe that the Cardinals right now are 3-4, not ideal, right? And I understand it really depends on who you're asking, right? What specific fan you're asking, because there's some people out here that don't think the Cardinals are going to win more than 4 or 5 games, right? But the Cardinals are 3-4 right now, and they're actually wide open, and the division is right there. So as long as the Cardinals make a move or two in the trade deadline, maybe upgrading the defensive line, keeping Buda Baker, and maybe I think we can potentially make a push for the West. But that might be just, hopeful, optimistic at that very moment. Now, the main thing I want to focus on here is, now the media ended up asking him how he feels about how he envisioned himself, right? His play so far through 7 games. And he said, I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know.
So we're hearing a lot of Jonathan Gannon as well as Kyler Murray say a lot of these good things, right? Politically correct things, the perfect answer. This right here, the I don't know. I don't know if I'm looking too much into this, and I'm not saying this is a character flaw in him or anything like that. I don't know. I kind of feel like he wanted to say something different, right? I feel like he wanted to say something, and then he kind of caught himself and said, I don't know, right? I don't know, right? And he kind of shut down the question there, because although what he said about, definitely not what I envisioned about the 3-4 start, in the grand scheme of things, if you look at the division, it is wide open. So he's 100% correct on that. And obviously keep learning from the mistakes, getting better each and every week. But the specific question for like his envision, right, about his career, I don't know. I feel like he wanted to say something right here, and he just kind of caught himself and just responded with, I don't know. Well, if you look at the stats here from obviously the 3 top wide receivers, and I'm not going to, mention Rome Odunze here, but the 3 wide receivers in my mind, which has been making a lot of production, obviously Marvin Harrison Jr. being at the bottom of that. We got Brian Thomas Jr., which is absolutely doing amazing things right now. You got Malik Neighbors with the New York Giants, and then you got Marvin Harrison Jr. With 300 yards, 20 receptions, 43 targets, 4 drops, and 4 touchdowns, right? So I don't know 100% if... I'm not going to speculate here saying that Marvin Harrison Jr. isn't happy. I'm not going to go out here and speculate. It's just, I guess, let me ask myself, what did I expect him to say, right? Because we all know that the same questions are being asked over and over again, right? From the media, to Jonathan Gannon, to Kyler Murray, right? What is with the connection, right? What is going on with Kyler Murray and Marvin Harrison Jr.? Maybe he's feeling the same way. Maybe he's feeling the instance of, I'm not, the expectations for myself isn't what we're showing up so far here on the field. Maybe that's what he's saying. Maybe he's saying that I expect more than 300 yards, right? Maybe that's what he's saying. But I hope that's what he's saying. I don't know. I kind of got a really, really weird vibe from this. The whole I don't know. It almost kind of feels like he wanted to say something and then he was like, nah, right? Nah. Now, can that something be positive? Can that something be I expect more from myself? Yeah, maybe. Or it could have been I want to be a bigger, focal point in this offense. That could have been a factor as well, right? Now, obviously, we're just speaking in potentials at this very moment, or like JG says, hypotheticals. Like, we're all speaking this way, and I don't know. Like, this doesn't give me the warm and fuzzies, right? Now, I've had multiple people reach out to me saying that Marvin Harrison Jr. doesn't look happy, especially because he's not getting targeted in the beginning of the start of the game. that can be a factor as to why as well, right? That the fact that maybe he's not happy with the production in terms of what he's getting. Now, I want to put up a graphic here in front of you guys to kind of take a look at. I ended up putting this on my live stream, and I wanted to kind of share it across the video platform as well, where I ended up getting these stats here from fantasypros.com. Now, I want to be very, very clear. These are subjective stats. This comes from a fantasy football a website which, you know, they got specific stats. Now, the ones I really wanted to focus on is catchable balls, drops, targets, and receptions, right? Now, if you look at comparing the Brian Thomas Jr., Malik Neighbors, and then Marvin Harrison Jr., you got 43 targets for Marvin, 60 for Malik, 62 for Brian Thomas, receptions, 20 yards for Marv, close to 40 for Malik, 30, so that's over 10 compared to Marvin Harrison Jr. for Brian Thomas. The yards are absolutely nuts. But now in terms of yardage, you don't have to look very far in terms of why the amount of yards Brian Thomas has compared to Malik Neighbors as well as Marvin Harrison Jr. The amount of yak that we're seeing from Malik as well as Brian Thomas Jr. is absolutely crazy. Now, yak stands for yards after catch. Marvin Harrison Jr. has 40 yards. So it's not very much, right? The yards after catch. But what I want to focus on here is the drops. Now, in this website, like I said before, subjective, you could take it as you will, but this is the only website that I found for free that had drops and then catchable passes as well. So per this website, out of the 43 targets, 24 of those were catchable balls. Now, he actually has had 20 receptions and then 4 drops. We all can kind of sit here and say, yes, Marvin Harrison Jr. has dropped some balls. Has he looked a little timid? Has he looked a little checked out? Yes. In the game, you know, looking at his body language, he definitely seems to, I guess, be a little worry of concern. And now hearing the fact that he says, you know, when the question was asked how he envisioned his own, you know, kind of his play, and he says, I don't know. I'm going to say I don't know either, because I think this can be an accumulation of a lot of different things. Now, like I said before, I don't want to speculate on anything that doesn't need to be speculated on, but I'm not feeling the warm and fuzzies with this answer here. Would I rather him say good things? Of course, yeah, definitely. Or would I rather him tell us the truth? I don't know. I don't know what to say. I don't know. I don't like this. I don't like the response. But I also don't blame Marvin Harrison Jr. at the same time, because if you're talking about targets and bringing up this graphic again, he's not getting targeted very much in this offense, or at least compared to Brian Thomas Jr. And then Malik Neighbors, and then obviously the receptions is crazy. The yards is attributed to the targets. Now, he has had some drops, but so has Brian Thomas. Now, yes, he has had one more drop compared to the two, but you know, per the stat, you know, the balls in terms of catchable balls, it definitely seems like it's 24 out of those 43 targets. So definitely not good odds there. But I think in the grand scheme of things here, ladies and gentlemen, I hope we're not dealing with a young wide receiver that's confidence is dropping by the wayside. I sure hope we're not dealing in a world like that, because I don't know. I'm not confident in this response. I'm not coming out here and saying, oh, he needs to respond better. No, I'm not saying that either. But I think the Cardinals need to get in front of this. I think the coaching staff needs to get in front of this. If he's not happy with the usage, with the way that the Cardinals are using him, that can be a very well big issue as well. Now, I think he's fully aware that obviously he's not only affecting the game with receptions, with yards, right? Marvin Harrison Jr. is also affecting the game with obviously having him double covered, right? That means you're leaving Trey open with the one-on-one. You're potentially leaving Michael Wilson available with the one-on-one. Greg Dortch, right? Or leaves less people to crowd that box, right? So he is affecting the game, and I think he's aware of that. But I think, I don't know. Maybe I'm looking too much into this, ladies and gentlemen. What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments below. I appreciate y'all for tuning in as always. Have a great rest of your day, and go Cardinals.